The politics of power, Tinubu state of emergency, and Rivers state crisis. In Nigerian politics, history has a way of repeating itself. One moment, a leader stands against a policy. The next, they implement it. Today, we take a deep dive into the unfolding political crisis in Rivers State, the controversial use of a state of emergency, and how President Bola Ahmed Tinubu finds himself on the opposite side of a battle he once fiercely opposed. Tinubu's opposition to state of emergency in 2013. Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2013 condemning the state of emergency imposed by President Goodluck Jonathan. Tinubu says, "This is an attack on democracy. You cannot use security challenges as an excuse to subvert the will of the people. A state of emergency should not be a tool for political control." In 2013, the then opposition leader Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a vocal critic of the declaration of a state of emergency in Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe states. He called it an attempt by the PDP-led government to stifle opposition and override democratic institutions. Tinubu, as a major opposition figure then, saw the move as a political strategy to weaken the APC's influence in those states. He insisted that security issues should be tackled without dismantling elected government. The Rivers State crisis, what has changed? But a decade later, as President Tinubu seems to be adopting the same playbook, Rivers State is now at the center of a power struggle. Governor Siminalayi Fubara, an early-turned adversary of former Governor Inwensun Wike, has found himself in a battle for political survival. The crisis in Rivers State escalated when Governor Fubara clashed with his predecessor and current Minister of Federal Capital Territory in Nyesom Wike. What followed was a shocking turn of events. President Tinubu intervened, sacked Governor Fubara, and replaced him with a retired naval officer. This move has sparked nationwide outrage, especially among members of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, who see it as an abuse of executive power. PDP spokesperson has said this is an assault on democracy. If a state of emergency is necessary, why didn't the APC government declare it in state battling insecurity like Zamfara, Kaduna, or even Borno? This is political manipulation, not governance. What does the Nigerian Constitution say? The Nigerian Constitution, under Section 305, grants the President the power to declare a state of emergency, but only under specific conditions. When there is a breakdown of public order, a public danger, or a war situation. According to legal experts, the President cannot just remove an elected governor at will. There must be concrete reasons and inability to maintain public order, a serious security threat, or an insurrection. But in Rivers State, there has been no justification under these grounds. This is more of a political intervention than a constitutional necessity. Why didn't the APC government do the same elsewhere? If a state of emergency was needed, why didn't the APC government declare one in states that have suffered from severe insecurity? The northwest and north central regions have faced years of insurgency, banditry, and terrorism. Victim of insecurity, many villages were attacked multiple times. No state of emergency was declared. The selective application of power raises questions. Is the state of emergency truly about security, or is it a tool for political dominance? The implications for Nigeria's democracy. One of political analysts says this set a dangerous precedent. If a sitting president can remove a governor without due process, then what stops future leaders from doing the same? It erodes the foundation of democracy. As Nigerians, we must ask, is this about national stability or is this a move to consolidate power? And if political loyalty is now the deciding factor for governance, where does democracy stand? The battle for Rivers State is more than a political crisis. It is a test of Nigeria's democratic integrity. A decade ago, Tinubu stood against the use of a state of emergency for political gains. Today, as president, he must decide, will he uphold the democracy he once defended, or will history remember him as the leader who did exactly what he once opposed? Thank you for listening and watching from the Pen Trust.